Steph praised you for your maturity that you demonstrated this season. How do you feel like the adversity this year matured you individually as a person and as a player?
Yeah, I think for me it's always been about staying level-headed, and I feel like there's no better way than to test that when you have a lot of things to adapt to. And I feel like that was kind of the story of our season, and so for me it just allowed me to just stay calm, focus on the present, and be where my feet are.
She also called you the rock of this team.
Oh, she's so nice.
Who was that rock for you growing up, and what did you learn from that person that prepared you to be the rock for this team?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say my parents. I just feel like the way that they raised my sister and I, and just them always being there no matter what, even when we moved away from home. And so that's kind of just how I've been since I was younger, and so I guess it kind of just translates now.
The phrase, we over me, where did that come from? And how did it evolve during the course of the season? I guess as you lived it.
Yeah. That was our motto since our first team meeting before the season started. That was what Steph and the entire staff had for us. They said that this season is going to be we over me, and I feel like that's really, it translated well with everything that happened. It was about continuing to give more of yourself for the betterment of the team and doing exactly what you have to do to help us with our success, and that's really just kind of been what we've been living all season.
We talked in past seasons about the adjustments to point guards and getting off of social media at times for your own mental things like that. This year, it didn't feel like those parts came up as much. How much stronger do you feel like you were mentally for this whole season compared to your first 2 years?
Definitely a lot stronger, but it still was something that I did, like getting off social media, not really looking at a lot of things, because no matter what, people always have their opinions. And so for me, I felt like I started off the season super strong, playing some of my best basketball. And so being off social media and not being able to see what people are saying really helped me. And honestly, I just kind of stayed on TikTok, and that was pretty much it.
How much did the team that you had and the internal support that you guys have all talked about all season help with that part of it?
Oh, everyone was such a big piece. I really enjoyed coming in here, playing basketball, being on the court, being off the court, with the Fever girls. It was just a whole different vibe. We were just so happy, and so no matter what was happening on that court, like I even think back to it, like even sometimes some games where we came in after and it was a tough loss for us, like the coaches, their approach, they were happy, they were still good, they were communicating, and I think that's what stood out for me, because it wasn't like, oh my gosh, well, one, I know I'm still going to get blasted on film, but it's like their approach was way different, and they weren't just like crapping on you, but it really was just about showing you exactly where we can continue to learn and grow.
Hey, Abby. So I guess you didn't see Staley's tweets about you?
Oh, I did.
I did. What can you say about that?
Coach Staley is my girl. I just think her presence for me during my first 3 seasons have been honestly amazing. Like she reaches out to me, and we talk a lot about basketball, and sometimes she just does a great job of kind of just reminding me who I am and my capabilities. And so I think it's amazing. And if there's anyone listening, go Gamecocks. Go to Coach Staley, she's the best.
Aliyah, your role evolved as the season went on and the lineup continually changed. It felt like, though, that we saw the most of your game perhaps this season that we saw during your time here. Did you feel like you got a chance to show even a little bit more of your abilities and what you could contribute?
I definitely did. I think being able to play in the trail a lot more, playing in that high post, obviously back to the baskets has been my bread and butter, but being able to make the right passes from the top, finding my guards, them knocking down the shots, I think it definitely expanded, being able to show me, being able to expand my game.
This offseason, you're back on Unrivaled, saw news about your broadcasting, kind of what else do you have planned, and for Unrivaled and broadcasting specifically, I guess on the court, what are you hoping to get out of Unrivaled again? Broadcasting, what excites you about being back and behind the camera?
Yeah, I love talking about basketball, so I'll start with the broadcasting part. I'm just super excited. I think it's always a great opportunity for me, so being able to just see the young talent that's going to be coming up and talk about them and hype them up, I feel like that's my favorite part. And when it comes to Unrivaled, I'm super excited to be back. I think just last year, being able to work in that space, being able to show a little bit more of my game and then let it translate into the W season, I'm really excited for.
You're obviously still under contract with the team, but this team, the whole league, there's so much uncertainty with free agents about Do you hope that this is, that you guys can run back like mostly the same group, even though, again, so much uncertainty? And how do you, I guess, as, one of the certainties of this process approach, an offseason with so many question marks?
Yeah, honestly, I definitely would. I think this group was just so special, and you can always think about the what ifs, right? Like, what if half our squad didn't get hurt, or like, what if we had our point guards, and what if, and so it's really crazy. Like, I think about how far we made it this season with so much that happened, and just imagining what it would have been like with everyone being healthy. And I know our GM and our president are going to do a great job going into this off season. I'm excited to just be a vocal point, and just be able to communicate what I'm thinking, how I feel. But honestly, I'm excited for what's to come.
From Josh to the come on here.
Speaking of being vocal, you've been vocal about your devotions and doing those daily. What did you learn from your devotions this year that kind of took you through the hard times?
That's a good question. I think there's just been so many, but I feel like the thing I learned the most was really that no matter what, God has your situation in hand. And I remember sometimes too, after people got hurt, especially when Sid and A both went down in Phoenix, I just remember, like, I was crying, I was super emotional, and then my devotions the next day it basically talked about things happen, and sometimes God lets things happen because he wants to be able to show you that he's going to bring you out on the brighter side. And that was something that held me pretty strong throughout the entire season, because no matter what happened, we were in a game 5 in the semifinals. And I know it didn't end the way that we wanted, but this season was just so amazing for me, and it just continued to show like God's mercy and faithfulness over this team no matter what.
I was struck by the fact that when you went to Connecticut, you actually walked to Boston, to the State House there. And, we always talk about South Carolina's influence, but never hear much about Worcester. So I don't know how you got there in the first place. That's where I'm from. So what was that like for that appearance with the State House and being honored there by the government there?
Yeah, it was honestly super special because obviously I moved to Worcester when I was 12, and so living in Worcester, being in Boston, basically raised me. Like, my aunt raised my sister and I from the time I was 12 until I went to South Carolina. And so Boston and Worcester has always been a super important part of me growing up. My first AU team, I played out there, and so it's just been a crucial piece for me.
Natasha Howard, just if you could speak to her importance specifically from that kind of leadership standpoint and just having that veteran presence specifically with you.
Yeah, Tasha's been great, seriously, the entire season. Just always in our ear, always talking to us, always motivating us. And I think just her presence on the floor alone, the way that she communicates, I feel like that's the best thing, is when you have a vet that has one that has been so successful in this league be a constant communicator. Like, I would not change that for the world, especially going into year 3 with like a whole new staff and preparing myself for that. She was honestly a perfect piece.
I'm going to jump over to Zoom. Jennifer, go ahead.
Aliyah,
Right.
if you could send one message to the league about the Fevers going into next season, what would it be?
What message to the league about the Fever?
Yes.
Be ready. Be ready. I think this year we showed a lot about what we're capable of, and we didn't even have our full squad at full strength. And so that's it. Be ready. Oh my gosh.
Josh?
And what's been your most memorable moment this season?
Ooh. Winning a lot more games this year. Making it to the semifinals, I definitely say that. And honestly, just being with such a fun and positive group.
Hi. Okay. Obviously, Indy loves sports, especially basketball. Is there anything you'd like to say about what it means to you to be able to play here, especially after this past season?
Yeah, Indy's amazing. I think the way that the fans come out and they show out for us every single game, not just for us, but for all the leagues here, it's so special, and I wouldn't trade it.
Next, John?
AB, I know after Tuesday night's game, you said thoughts for next season start tomorrow or yesterday. One thing we heard Steph talk about over the course of the year was already the evolution in your career from kind of back to the basket, pick and roll game, this year facilitating, being the hub. And she's mentioned she hopes the next step for you maybe would be outside shooting. So what are your thoughts on that and how you continue to grow your game for next year?
I 100% agree. I think that's going to be a big key piece for me coming into next year, being able to knock down that shot outside consistently, but also I think for me working a lot more in that mid-post area, and making teams have to guard out there and not just having to worry about back to the basket.
Anything else for Aliyah? Scott, back to Josh.
One thing I don't think we ever heard negatively was about ownership and accountability and all that stuff. Why do you think that really emanated from a positive standpoint and everybody was a willing listener or leading when they needed to?
Yeah, I think our owners, our GM, our pres, like everyone, when it comes to the Fever, continues to pour in, and they know what we need to be just such a successful franchise. And I think they just do a great job. Communication's always open. They always love to hear from us, and vice versa. And I think that's just what makes this group so special.
Obviously, involved in the off-season broadcasting. Also know you love to read books. Any books you have lined up to help you just detox?
Ooh, I actually just started. It's called First Lie Wins. And honestly, I was so excited. Thanks for this question. Guys, I read like 8 books this summer. 8 or 9 books. Like, I'm like highly impressed. But I did just start that. First Lie Wins. I'll tell you what it's kind of about, even though you didn't ask. But this girl basically gets this like job, and she's like dating this guy, and we don't know what the job is. But then this other girl comes, and it's like her name, her old name, because they get like fake identity. So now she's confused as to why the girl's here, and so that's where I'm at right now. So I think the tea's really about to get good, because I don't know why they sent the other girl there when she was already there. But hey,
We'll see about the WNBA
Tell us how it came out.
Oh, I will,
Next year.
100%.
Yeah, can we demand updates on this?
Yes, check my Instagram story. Hopefully I'm done like next week. I have an appointment soon, so I'll finish it.